Coming up next on Campus News, we show you the power of pink at LISD. We tell you about the recent Youth of the Month ceremony, and we show you a great pep rally.
All of this and much more coming up on Campus News, Laredo's best and only news for students. Hello and thank you for joining LISD's very own student newscast, the only newscast that offers the most in school and community coverage for students. I'm Marco Guajardo.
And I'm Veronica Morales from the VMT Magnet School. Here's our top story. The month of October is known nationally as the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Throughout our district, everybody was invited to wear pink in order to show support for those who are battling or have battled the disease. Many of our school employees heard this call and were more than delighted to participate in an event like this. The idea of this campaign is to raise awareness of the disease. Breast cancer is one of the diseases that most affects women in this country. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime, and according to the World Health Organization, breast cancer is the most common cancer among women worldwide. The National Breast Cancer Foundation says that the best way to fight breast cancer is to have a plan that helps you detect the disease in its early stages. This disease is survivable, but early detection is the key. That's the reason why raising awareness of the disease is so important. Thank you, LISD, for always doing your part during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And also, as a part of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, one of our great elementary schools decided to get together to do something extra special. The staff and students of Milton Elementary School gathered outside in the front of their school. There, they all wore pink as they listened to one of their excellent students read a declaration. Vanessa Palumbo is a kindergarten teacher at Milton Elementary. She tells us more about this important event.
Here at CO Milton today, we had a pink day in honor of all those that are fighting breast cancer. So we're making the kids aware that breast cancer is out there and that we're ready to help fight the fight. That we know that it's a terrible disease that many people have to go through, but we're here to support them. That our kids are aware that this is happening, that they're never too young to learn about these types of diseases.
In the end, everybody stood together as they released pink balloons into the sky. This was a great event that was put together by one of the many great elementary schools in our district.
Also at Milton Elementary, students had the privilege of having their grandparents visit them in class. Many of the grandparents, along with several parents, were on hand as they helped their child with some of their classroom activities. This was in honor of Grandparents' Day. Also, many of the students were dressed in Mexican attire as well for 16 de septiembre. Here to tell us what this day means to her is Milton Elementary School Principal Leticia Martinez.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome our grandparents to CL Milton Elementary. This is one of the few times that our grandparents get to visit their grandchildren, and so it gives me great pleasure that they get the opportunity to come in and visit the classrooms.
Also, one of the classrooms had Mexican sweetbread for the grandparents to enjoy. The grandparents had a great time being with their grandchildren. Nixon High School recently hosted a very important event at that school. And for the details of that story, we welcome in our reporter, Jesus Pecha. Jesus?
Thank you, Mark. The first Superintendent Student Advisory Council meeting was held at the Nixon High School Library. This council is made up of students from all 4 of LISD's high schools. They meet with Dr. Marcus Nelson periodically throughout the school year and discuss various topics that affect the students. One of those students is Eduardo McCoy from Nixon High School. He tells us why these types of meetings with Dr. Nelson are important.
It shows the closeness that we have in our district and how each student has a voice, the most important person in the district, the superintendent, and how we can all work together so we can achieve a greater goal.
Some of the topics that were discussed on this day were the importance of safety and the availability of the dual enrollment program. Dr. Nelson also spoke to the students about incentive programs that are available, like the Perfect Attendance Partnership with SAMES, where students can drive away with a new car. Last year, Jury de Anda from Cigarroa High School won a new car from SAMES for having a perfect attendance. As part of this event, the students were also fed a delicious meal. This was another great meeting where Dr. Nelson received good feedback from the students of LISD. Reporting for Campus News, I'm Jesus Bechem. Now back to you.
Thank you, Jesus. Students from both LISD and UISD gathered at the Lyndon B. Johnson High School Library for the U.S. Border Patrol Youth of the Month ceremony. Parents and school administrators were in attendance for this joyous occasion. Maggie Martinez, Executive Director for Student Services, was on hand to speak to the students. The students from LISD that were honored were Sofia Medina from Cigarroa High School, Jada Janae Joy Cantu from the Laredo Early College High School at TAMIU, our very own Marco Guajardo from Nixon High School, and Ana Karen Vasquez from Martin High School. Their nominating educators had a few words to say about these outstanding students that they were representing. We here at Campus News would like to send a big congratulations to all the students on receiving this great honor. Congratulations, Marco.
Thank you, Veronica.
A parental involvement conference was recently held over at Cigarroa High School. The conference was divided into 3 sections. There were community organization booths at the gym, sessions in classrooms for the parents to attend, and finally, a guest speaker was invited to speak to all the parents at the school's cafeteria. This is the 10th annual Parental Involvement Conference. People looked on as they went from booth to booth asking questions. Also, before the second part of the conference took place, the Cigarroa cheerleaders, along with the Silver Roses, put on a performance for the audience. In the sessions, many LISD employees from different departments were on hand to give information to parents on how they can be a part of their children's school activities at home. Also, several law enforcement officers from both the district and city police were on hand to speak about school safety and drugs in the schools. Here to tell us more about how important this conference was for the parents is District Parental Involvement Coordinator Pat Campos.
It is very important for the parents to come in and enjoy this conference because they get to learn strategies on how to work with their children. Plus, it's important that they know that if they need any kind of services from the community, they can find, an answer here because we have different booths from the community also. And it's important that parents get involved with their children in their education.
Finally, over at the school's cafeteria, they had U.S. Magistrate Judge Diana Son Quiroga speak to everyone in attendance about the importance of being involved in a child's life. Everyone in attendance had a great time being a part of the 10th Annual Parental Involvement Conference. When we return, we will show you that great pep rally that we told you about earlier. Stay tuned.
Want to drive home in a brand new car? Laredo ISD high school students who attend class every day could be the winner of a brand new 2016 Ford Focus courtesy of Sames Motor Company. Any student with perfect attendance during any 9-week period is eligible. Pick up your entry form at your high school's attendance office, and entry forms must be hand-delivered to Sames Motor Company. Go to school every day. You could be the winner of a brand new car. Drive Sames for education. Laredo ISD, as we continue to excel in the school year, remember that together
we will work hard.
Together
We will succeed.
Together
We will achieve.
Together
We will accomplish.
Together
We will triumph.
Together
We will prosper.
Together
We will be great.
Together.
We will thrive.
And always, always remember that
Together we will.
Welcome back. Every week during the football season, one outstanding player is selected as the Player of the Week. Well, this great award recently went to senior running back Johnny Valdivia from Martin High School. He received this award for his performance during Martin's comeback win over Uvalde High School. In that game, Johnny rushed for 169 yards and 3 touchdowns on 31 carries. He tells us what it feels like to receive this award.
It really means a lot, not only for me, but for my team. How we played versus Uvalde, it was a great game until the end, and we just came with that W.
This Player of the Week award is presented by KGNS TV and Academy Sports and Outdoors. David Charles is the head football coach at Martin High School. He tells us a little bit more about Johnny.
Johnny's a great kid, and it's always great to see the kids here at Martin High School get all the recognition that they deserve. Johnny's not a very big back. He's 135 pounds, but, he does a real good job of running tough, and he runs strong, and he runs smart. And, every time an athlete from Martin High School gets recognized, we do our best to make sure that everybody hears all the great things that happen here at Martin High School.
Once again, congratulations to Johnny Valdivia for having received this great award. Staying with the football theme, that school recently held a great pep rally. And for the details on that story, we welcome in our reporter Priscilla Solis. Priscilla?
Thank you, Marco.
This pep rally was held to get the football players pumped up for their game against San Antonio Somerset. But just as important, this pep rally was also held to show the Tiger support for two important causes. Breast Cancer Awareness Month was one of those causes. Many of the staff and students wore pink to show their support to those battling breast cancer. Also, a group of breast cancer survivors were invited to the event so they could be honored. During this event, the life of Letty Hassel was also remembered. Miss Hassel was a great teacher at Martin High School who lost her battle with cancer. Also, as a part of this event, the choir and dance teams of Martin put together a great a cappella and dance performance.
He took her in his arms and said, "That's what my love is for. When you're weak, I'll be strong. When you let go, I'll..."
The other great cause that the school decided to show their support for was Down Syndrome Awareness Month. Stephanie Rico and Stacy Cardenas are two excellent students at Martin High School who were honored during this pep rally.
And there's nothing different from them as you guys, okay? We accept them here. They are part of our FFA. They are part of the girls basketball team, and they are our very own Tigerette, okay?
Also during this pep rally, a cheerleader of the week was named. Then the cheerleaders performed a great cheer for all of those in attendance. The students also participated in a fun game. They played the human version of Hungry Hungry Hippo. This was another great pep rally that was held at Martin High School. Reporting for Campus News, I'm Priscilla Solis. Now back to you.
Over at Santos Ochoa Elementary School, students gathered at the school's gym for the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program kickoff. School Principal Elba Contreras greeted LISD Child Nutrition Program Director Roberto Cuellar as he kicked off this event. Students looked on as Mr. Cuellar spoke to them about healthy eating habits and the importance of good nutrition. He also made the students stand and make a pledge that they were going to eat as much fruits and vegetables so that they can live a healthier life. Our superintendent of schools, Dr. Marcus Nelson, was at this event. He was there to see the joy in all of the students' faces. Here to tell us more about why it is important to eat fruits and vegetables is Director of Child Nutrition Program, Roberto Cuellar.
It is very important that they do eat fruits and vegetables, and this program is through the Texas Department of Agriculture, where we have 14 elementary schools, and Sanchez Ochoa is one of them, where they're going to be able to have a fruit or vegetable during the school day, as long as it's not during breakfast or lunch.
Also, there were booths set up around the gym displaying different types of fruits and vegetables. The students had a great time eating and also learning about some of these healthier food choices. Earlier, we told you about how important this month of October is for breast cancer awareness. The month of October is also known as National Bullying Prevention Month. The goal is to encourage communities to work together to stop bullying and cyberbullying. We here at LISD ITV have produced a few public service announcements that promote this idea. We would now like to show you a few of these videos.
You too have the tools to combat bullying. Laredo ISD urges everybody to help stop bullying in our schools. Instead, spread kindness. It makes the difference.
Gotta turn my world into a better one. Stop bullying, stop bullying. Take a stand, say no to be a victim more. Stop bullying, stop bullying. You and me together, we can make it better. Gotta turn my world into a better one. Stop bullying, stop bullying.
We can all do something to combat bullying. If you know somebody who is being bullied or you are being bullied, please report it to your teacher, counselor, or school administrator.
A proclamation was held in one of the Webb County courtrooms. This proclamation was to take a stand against domestic violence. Councilman Juan Narvaez, along with Webb County Judge Tano Tijerina and several community leaders, stood and read the proclamation to all those in attendance. Community leaders and law enforcement agencies were on hand to bring awareness to this issue. Webb County Sheriff Martin Cuellar spoke to everyone in attendance about how critical this issue is in the community and throughout the nation. Also, there were several silhouette stands on display. These silhouettes represented the lives of those individuals that have been lost due to domestic violence. Here to tell us more about how to educate the community about domestic violence is Webb County Sheriff Martin Cuellar.
You know, our thing is to educate the community, to make sure, you know, that they know what this is about. And domestic violence is a violence that happens in the families, and you know, it affects everyone. And to us it's important that everybody be on the same page.
In the end, everyone held a moment of silence to all those lives lost due to domestic violence. Over at the City of Laredo Council Chambers, students from schools throughout Laredo were on hand for an important announcement. They were there to announce the 22nd Annual Borderplex Phone Book Recycling Contest. City Councilman Juan Narvaez was on hand for the announcement. Students will be able to collect used phone books from September 28th all the way to October 27th. There will be 3 winners for those schools that collect the most used phone books, one from LISD, one from UISD, and one from the private schools. Each of the winning schools will be receiving $600. Also, one of the lucky schools will be receiving a pizza party for their efforts to help keep Laredo clean and beautiful. Here to tell us more about why it is important to recycle is City of Laredo Council Member District 4, Juan Narvaez.
The bottom line is that we are extending the life of the landfill. And as you know, right now we're running out of space. And by us recycling and teaching our children to recycle, it's a way to educate the whole community that recycling is the answer to the environment and also to protect our landfills.
Recycling coordinator for the City of Laredo Solid Waste Services Division, Sylvia Garza, spoke about how important it is to recycle. Also at hand was Billy Bote to show his support. In the end, everyone gathered to take a picture to kick off the event. That wraps up this edition of Campus News. I'm Marco Bajardo.
And I'm Veronica Morales. Don't forget to tune in next time. Until then, remember your teacher will open the doors to success, but you must walk through it yourself. See you next time.
Play the background, I could play the background, 'cause I know sometimes I get in the way. So won't you take the lead, lead, lead. So won't you take the lead, lead, lead. And I could play the background, and you could take the lead.
Welcome to the wonderful world of education, and thank you for being a part of this presentation. This is dedicated to teachers with dedication, passion, pride, perseverance, and patience. A celebration of mind elevation, to educators that provide inspiration. To our students, I use my music as a tool to show my appreciation. To all the teachers of the world, stay devoted. Keep on making a difference, stay focused. And when your day runs long, just play this song. And remember, you're the reason that I wrote this. We educate them, we entertain, conversate, you know, explain the things we've learned to all the kids so they don't make the mistakes we did. Come on.
I could play the background. I could play the background. 'Cause I know sometimes I get in the way. So won't you take the lead, lead, lead. So won't you take the lead, lead, lead. And I could play the background, background. And you could take the
To the teachers who teach English, teachers who teach math, teachers who teach history and all about the past, teachers who teach science, every teacher teaching class, the coaches, administrators, and all support staff. But most of all to the teachers in the class that help the kids to read and become college grads. The classes, the lessons, the tests, the grades, the times you spend trying to correct mistakes. They say it all pays off in the end. You're touching the lives of young women and young men. For that we commend who you are. Our applause to our leaders. What would a suit be without good teachers? It's the TEACHERS. Teachers are the best and nothing less. So with pressure and support, we're gonna teach these kids with high expectations in this school district.
I could play the background. I could play the background. 'Cause I know sometimes I get in the way. So won't you take the lead, lead, lead. So won't you take the lead, lead, lead. And I could play the background, background. And you could take the
One district, one vision. Let us stand as one with one mission. To educate the young, and when it's all said and done, what they'll become is tradition. Young doctors, young divas, young athletes and young leaders. Young soldiers protect our freedom. The kids are our future, these young folks need us. Come on.
I could play the background. I could play the background. 'Cause I know sometimes I get in the way. So won't you take the lead, lead, lead. So won't you take the lead, lead, lead. And I could play the background, background. And you could take the I could play the background. I could play the background. 'Cause I know sometimes I get in the way. So won't you take the lead, lead, lead. So won't you take the lead, lead, lead. And I could play the background, background. And you could take the
The Laredo Independent School District recognizes the veterans who proudly and valiantly served in the military. Freedom is not free, so we pay tribute to our local veterans. Today, Laredo ISD recognizes a successful businessman, educator, and veteran, Mr. Manuel Cerda. Mr. Cerda is a 1957 graduate of Martin High School. He joined the United States Army in February 18, 1962. While in the Army, he attained the rank of sergeant. 5 years and 11 days later, on August 28, 1967, he was honorably discharged. Mr. Cerda was a successful businessman in the 1960s and had to make a life-changing decision.
I made a big decision, very big decision, because I had my customers, I had my business, ya estaba establecido, automotive business. Tenía new and used car dealership, y tenía mi automotive shop.
Mr. Cerda tells us about his career with the U.S. Army.
We started our career, we took our basic training in Fort Chaffee, Arkansas. That's where we started our basic, and then finishing our basic, we were transferred to Fort Sill, Oklahoma. We served there another 3.5 months, and then we were transferred to our reserve headquarters aquí en Laredo, and estábamos en el U.S. Army Reserve, ready to go.
He shares with us what he was responsible for in the Army.
It was a very good experience. We worked with a motor pool division con el Armored Personnel Carriers, en las trocas 2.5-ton trucks y todo eso. We supervised the services that were rendered to those vehicles.
Mr. Cerda tells us about one moment he will never forget.
But one of the best experiences that I always remember is when we were asked to march in parade in review to our commanders in that base. And you know, as I was marching with the rest of the troops that morning, I saw the stands, and a lot of parents went to for that presentation. And I just wished that my parents would have been there to see me have finished what so many started, but not so many finished.
What makes America strong? Mr. Cerda explains.
What makes America strong is the volunteers and the members that serve our country, because this is our greatest country in todo the universe. And to say I am proud of that accomplishment, to serve with an honorable discharge.
After his honorable discharge from the U.S. Army, Mr. Cerda was an educator with Laredo ISD for 30 years. He taught automotives as part of the vocational classes at Nixon High School, Cigarroa Middle, and Cigarroa High School. He says teaching has many rewards that make a difference.
The best rewards in our field, now in the field of education, is that when people can remember the lessons not only for 10 months of the school year, but for the rest of their lives.
He retired from Laredo ISD in 2000, and today he continues to be an active member of our community. He is the co-chairman of the Power of Partnership program in Laredo.
I value the day to the T every day on a very positive note. We don't have time for negatives.
Mr. Cerda leaves us with a message for the youth of our community.
Respect your parents. Respect your parents. Value your parents. And start thinking positive. How are you going to reward your parents when you get to a certain age, a certain grade level? Start thinking for the future on a very positive note. And give it your best, and God will take care of the rest.
Laredo ISD proudly salutes you for serving our country and protecting our freedom.